Hello, the camp!
Howdy there, partner. Can I do you for anything?
Well, what you got cooking in the fire?
Oh, I got beans, bacon, and black coffee. You're welcome to some if you want.
No, that's all right. I ain't had nothing to eat but beans, bacon, and coffee since the day I was born.
All right then. Suit yourself. You been out on the trail long?
Well, I have been on the trail a while now that you ask. I could use some of your stuff.
Hey now, partner. I'm sure that's not necessary. We could probably get along right pleasant, friend.
I ain't your friend, amigo.
Oh, my bad, partner.
I'll tell you what's gonna happen, compadre. I'm gonna take everything you got.
Whatever you want, take it.
It's a nice hat.
It's yours.
Oh, that rifle on the side of that tree.
You can have it.
Hey, it's a pretty nifty knife there.
Well now.
Hey now, sit down. And you know what? While you're at it, drop that gun belt.
All right. Just don't get excited.
Gosh damn!
Listen, you can take my woman, whiskey, or wallet, but you ain't touching my Rough Rider Reserve Swell Center Whittler. Hey everybody, welcome back to Gideon Stuff. Today we're taking a look at a budget slip joint. Lately the channel's looked at some kind of expensive stuff. The 80-20.5, the Concept Hell X, even the Kaiser Begleiter XL is not a cheap knife. But today we're going to do something pretty budget. So, Rough Riders. These are really cool. I have had some complications in making this video. I apologize, guys. I lost all the footage the first time I did this. I'm actually filming this the day before you're going to see it, which is very rare for me. You guys know I like to have my content scheduled ahead of time, but luckily the little skit that I spent a long time making a couple weeks ago, I didn't lose that, but I did lose the rest of the footage, so yeah. There's a rainstorm outside, but that's pretty cool. We needed the rain. Alright, blade length on this guy. We're coming in just over 3.2, well, 3, yeah, there you go, you can see there. So yeah, pretty good full-size slip joint. Let's go ahead and do our size comparisons. As always, let's get our rats out here. There's the 2, there's the 1. Yeah, full-size slip joint. Next up, let's go ahead and bring out some more budgety knives. There's our Praxis from Civivi, and there's our Civivi Elementum. Good deal. Next, let's bring out our PM2 and our Bug Out. And let's finish this up by comparing it to some other Rough Riders. Here is a Rough Rider VG10 Trapper, and another Rough Rider Reserve knife. Here is the Rhino toe. Awesome. So, what are we looking at here in terms of materials? Well, we have 3 D2 blades. The main blade is this kind of big drop point. Then we have a smaller pin blade. And then we have a little tiny Warncliffe. This is the 003 pattern from Ryder, and currently these are all out of stock on Smoky Mountain Knife Works. You might be able to find them other places, but this same pattern might be made again with a different handle material. In the case of this one, the handle material is a burlap micarta. Look at that nice shield. Alright, so there it is. Let's go ahead and go to the cutting footage, which I took just a little bit ago before it started to rain, so should be pretty interesting. Alright, let's go find a place to do some cutting footage for today's review. Do you guys need something? No? You're just going to be helpers today? Alrighty, let's talk about the Rough Ryder Reserve Swell Center Whittler. And let's make it quick, because it's probably going to rain. And I usually want to film this today, but it's Thursday, and tomorrow's Friday. I don't have a review scheduled, because I've been too busy to film, so here we are. And the livestock of the day today, chickens. Little dinosaurs. Alright, so here's the knife. Looks beautiful, doesn't it? Yeah. Let's talk about the ergonomics first. Wipe that blade off. The ergonomics are great for a slip joint. This fits my hand really, really well. Super comfortable. And one of my favorite things is this area here. It allows you to get up on that blade, and you're locked in. Like, the knife can't close when you're holding the blade. So that's really, really cool. I'm a big, big fan of that. There are chickens everywhere. So ergonomics, really, really great. The action, the walk and talk, nice defined half stops. Very snappy, but not difficult to get out. And the same is true of the other blades too. They're less snappy, but they do have half stops, and yeah, very easy to use. How about that carry? Gosh, wind. Okay, so it's a pocket dropper. Just drop in your pocket. I actually carry it in this Tuya knife slip. Works pretty good in there. Alright, let's go ahead and let's do some cutting. I've got a little bit of a new setup here. Let's see how it works. Okay, well, here we are. Let's see how this works. And, oh, snap, I forgot cardboard. Wow, good job, Gideon. Never fear, cardboard is near. We just have to step in here into the saddle house, which is darker than anything. Let's kick that door open and look! Cardboard! So, D2 blade. We're only going to use the big one. The little ones will slice very well, but I do not have a behind the edge reading on this. I will make sure I get one of those eventually. Some old dusty cardboard, but you know what? It ought to work. Ooh, there's some thunder and here comes the rain. All right. It does slice quite well, but this is very old, gross cardboard. Let's go cut some other things. Okay, so first up, let's do our little rope pull. There we go. Pretty nice. Move that over there, and you know what? Let's see if we can get you guys closer to the action here. Yeah, that'll work. Alright, so on the pushes, not super amazing, but, I mean, for a blade with a lot of belly, that's kind of, and maybe if I get up here at the tip, yeah, I can force it to have a little bit of power, but, you know, not terrible, but not amazing. Now, let's see how good that edge is. Working out pretty well. Alrighty guys, we're back. So sorry about that. I actually had to cut the cutting footage short because it started to thunder and rain and it was just messing up everything. So what I was saying was this knife has a relatively thick blade stock for a traditional slip joint, but it does slice well, full flat grind. I'm not sure what the thinness behind the edge here. It's not like razor thin, but if you are looking for razor thin, you can definitely go to, like, especially this little Warncliffe. That will blaze through anything. So, with that out of the way, let's get into what I'm liking and not liking about this really, really cool little knife. So, first things first, I like Rough Ryder Reserve as a brand. They're really, really cool, and I think they do some things very, very right. One of the things I like so much is their packaging. Let's look at this. You get this nice little tin here, and inside there's this little foamy thing that I can never get out. And you have a little cleaning cloth. Let's get that out here real quick. Yeah, there we go. Rough Ryder Reserve. So yeah, that's really cool. I like all of that. And next, I think the idea behind this brand is really, really awesome because they're giving you high quality, well-made traditional slip joints that don't sacrifice on performance. You know, a lot of Rough Ryders are in 440A. Whoo, that thunder. Are in 440A steel, which is not good. Let's just be honest, it's not good. And so giving you D2 now allows them to keep the price down, but still give you something that will perform. And that's really, really nice, in my opinion. Okay, next thing. I think the fit and finish on this knife is really good. The walk and talk is excellent. Great, great action. Let's listen to that without me talking over it. Really, really nice. Everything feels nice and smooth. Look back here at the back springs. The fitment is really, really good. The pins look nice. Yeah. That shield feels really good. It feels flush with the scale. Really, really nice fit and finish. The blades are all lined up exactly where they should be. I like that a whole lot. The build quality on this in general is just very, very good. I especially like, if we look here, these fat washers, these fat bronze washers that the blades run on. That is really, really nice that they have the washers instead of just, you know, like some slip joints will do. You know, it just runs against the liners. I like these little washers. Another thing I like is that the main blade Oh, and there goes the clock. The main blade locks up against both the back springs from the other two blades. Gosh dang it. I'm going to pause for a sec. Sorry about that. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm pretty stressed out today. There's just something about, you know, losing footage and then, you know, having to film the video the day before it's supposed to come out. Yeah, especially when you get back from work. But anyways, what I was saying was, since the main blade locks up against both the back springs from the little blades, it keeps the blade right in the middle of the handle, like a normal knife, unlike some slip joints, such as this little guy here, where the blade is off to that side, pretty obviously. I like that, and it looks really cool. Very flush, fits in there really good. Good deal. Next thing, this design is really cool. I think it looks fantastic. That's a good looking slip joint. Yeah. And I like all the blades that are included. It's a Whittler, so you have a variety of blades for, you know, when you're sitting on your porch yelling at your grandkids, whittling a shank or something. I don't know. But very nice little blades. You have the pin blade, the little Warncliffe, which I really like. Came in handy for a lot of things. And what I like about it is it's a multi-bladed slip joint, but it doesn't feel clunky or clumsy or just gimmicky like some of them can. It feels really nice. And, you know, this is obviously the main blade. This is what you're going to be using most, but you also have these two other ones for, you know, whatever the heck you decide to use them for, which is nice. And now, the thing that I love most about this knife are the ergonomics. So, you have this Swell center, which is why they call it a Swell center Whittler, don't you know? You know, isn't that something? And it just feels so good in your hand. I mean, it looks kind of pointy, doesn't it? But it just fits in your hand so well. Very comfortable, really good. These other blades don't bother me in the hand. Very nice. But that's not the best part of the ergos. The best part of the ergos, the thing that made me absolutely love carrying this knife and has cemented this knife as my favorite traditional slip joint, is this area here. It may look plain and innocuous, but this here completely changes carrying a slip joint for EDC. For me, at least. Because what that allows you to do is get there and hold the knife like this, and you're pinching the blade between your fingers, and it cannot close. That is huge. Huge. It's very comfortable in that grip, and it's very secure. It's a great safety feature, and in a lot of ways, it kind of takes the place of a lock. I did not worry about this knife closing on my fingers while I was carrying it, and I used it for everything. Cutting my sandwich at work, breaking down cardboard, cutting paper, and all kinds of stuff. I even whittled with it for more than just the skit that you guys saw. And it felt very safe and secure, and I like that. Very good on the ergos department, and this just, yeah, it really cemented this knife as my favorite traditional slip joint. Okay. Before we get into the negatives, I just want to close off by just reiterating how good this knife feels in terms of build quality and details. That swedge up there, the texturing in the nail nicks is great, the fitment is good. This is a $60 slip joint, and it feels absolutely amazing. Very high quality. I really hate to say this, but it feels more high quality than a case knife. And I absolutely love that. Very good. All right, on to some negatives. First thing, if you don't like traditional knives, if you don't like slip joints, you're not going to like this. You're really not. So don't even try. Although, actually, you know what? Do try. Do try, because if you're curious about slip joints, this is a great one to start with because of that safety feature I said and the size. I mean, it's a big knife, well, a full-size knife, and, you know, it feels safe. It feels good in your hand. It's well made. Yeah. I guess another good thing I could have mentioned that I didn't is that this is very legal, you know, pretty much anywhere in the world. I kind of thought that, you know, that just goes without saying, but I'll mention it anyways. Next thing that you might think is a negative is you cannot disassemble this knife. You know, it's pinned construction, very traditional. Mine has gotten pretty dirty through use. I blow it out and use a little Q-tip and, you know, drop some oil in there as much as I can, but you cannot really disassemble this knife to maintain it. So that might be a negative for you. And other than that, the only other negative I have really is satin D2 blades you may not like. This knife, actually, I need to sharpen. I've used it a lot, and in the cutting footage I took, I don't think it was as sharp as it should be. The original cutting footage I took like, geez, a long time ago, but yeah, you know, D2 blades, hand finish, you're going to be touching this with your fingers a lot, so, you know, you can see there's a little bit of a patina forming there. If you don't like that, you know, you're not going to like that. And I think the biggest negative of this knife is that you can't get them anymore. I think the Rough Ryder Reserve line, they may make the same pattern again, but they won't do it with the same material. So if this gets made again, this pattern, it'll have a different material. Maybe it'll be something you like, maybe not. I don't know. But other than that, there's really nothing that I dislike about this knife at all. Seriously. It's pretty darn perfect for what it is. So, I guess let's go into my final conclusions. My final conclusions are, yeah, this is my absolute favorite traditional style slip joint. And I was on a slip joint kick for a long time, and it's kind of died off. I want to get back into slip joints. This knife, I've carried it a lot, and I just love it. I would carry this as my primary EDC several times, especially when I was down at school and stuff, because it's a very friendly knife, if you know what I mean. When I pull this knife out, it's the knife that everyone's grandpa carries, right? It's the knife that everyone's grandpa carries, and so no one really gets super freaked out about it. So yeah, that's really cool. And there's something just supremely satisfying about waking up in the morning, grabbing this, dropping it in my pocket, or putting it in my pocket slip, which I'll talk about that real quick. I carry it in this, I think I mentioned in the cutting footage, but I carry it in this Tuya knife slip. Yeah, there you go. Goes in there pretty nicely. But, you know, there's something just supremely satisfying about going throughout your day with something so simple and classic as this. I can't really explain what it is. It's a very abstract feeling, but it's very, very satisfying. I don't know, it just feels good to be old school, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But, you know, honestly, for a lot of the stuff that I was doing, you know, especially, you know, at college when I'm not working, on the ranch, in the woods, you know, I'm just doing regular EDC stuff, cutting things every once in a while. This worked fantastic. It was really all the knife I needed. And there's a video that I think is coming out tomorrow, but it's one of the videos that Austin and I did together, and this knife appears in it. And Austin says something along the lines of, you know, this is what our parents and grandparents carried, and they were just fine. And that's thunder sounds good. And he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. These knives were, I mean, these were the first pocket knives of this style. I'm not saying this pattern exactly, but knives of this style were the very first pocket knives. And people got along just fine. And honestly, I could probably get along just fine with this at work, too. Drop this in my pocket and then have my fixed blade for my harder use stuff. I know a lot of guys who still have that mentality, you know? If you need something more than your slip joint to cut it, you get a fixed blade or an axe or a saw. And that's just the way they do it. Although I also see a lot of guys put their slip joints through hell. It's a good tool. It really is. And it is, I'm going to say it again, it's my absolute favorite traditional style slip joint. I really love it. And I'm going to get some more Rough Ryder Reserve knives. I do apologize for taking so long to make this video. I just really enjoyed carrying this. And, you know, when I really enjoy carrying something, it usually takes me a while to get to the review. But yeah, just an absolutely great knife. It looks fantastic. I gave my dad one of these. He loves it. Yeah, just very classy, very simple, elegant, just beautiful, beautiful knife. And yes, it 100% gets the Gideon seal of approval, because I really, for what it is, there's nothing wrong with this knife, honestly. I know that's a bold statement, but there's really nothing wrong with this knife. If you don't like traditional knives, this is not for you. If you do, I think you really like this. And if you're interested in traditional knives, pick one of these up. I think you'll really like it. Even if you don't like traditional knives and you just try this out, and I think you'll like it a lot. But yeah, and especially for the price, these Rough Rider Reserves are just really, really cool. And this one is going to be getting a new edge probably after I stop filming. But yeah, definitely gets a recommendation from me. And that's going to be it today, guys. I am sorry if this review felt a little bit rushed and weird. Yeah, it was kind of a weird one. But I hope you guys enjoyed that little sketch at the beginning. I'm so glad I didn't lose that. I probably would have cried if I'd lost that part of the video. But yeah, anyways. Oh look, it's also a top. Oh my goodness. Fidget for days. Fidget for days! The fidget factor is through the roof! Oh my goodness gracious. Look at that. That was fun. That was just so fun. Let's see here. Look. Can we do that with a PM2? No. Can we do that with the Civivi Elementum? No. Oh my goodness. Look at that. That's just... Well, I think that's all you need to see, guys. I mean, right there. You know what? Heck, everyone should buy this knife right now. I mean, look at it go. All right. Enough goofing around. I've been Gideon. If I didn't already say so, don't forget to like or dislike, comment below, and subscribe. And, I'll see you in the next one. Oh, boy.